Well, we're headed down the road on a service call. We got a Mustang skid loader that the starter fell off of it or broke off of it. We're headed over there to go see what's going on. I've actually got another starter that's bad that fits it, so hopefully between the two I can make it work so we can get it back up and going. Well, we got a bit of a drive ahead of us. It's in Greenwood, so it's outside of Indy. We're on the far west side, so it'll be a little jaunt, but hopefully we make it there and back. Well, we're kind of on the side of the road at the moment. We got a speed sensor issue with the service truck. It's shifting all kinds of crazy. I'm gonna get myself ran over out here, so I'm gonna pull the speed sensor out real quick, see if it's got some crap on it, clean it off, spray it off some brake clean, see if I can't get this thing halfway limped together so I can get onto the job site. We'll take off here real quick and see how this thing, yeah, it's definitely not shifting right. Pull in this little cutoff thing right here. Ooh, I get to lay in gravel, yay. All right, sweet. Well, I'm gonna try to fix this real quick. I wish I'd have brought something to lay on, but unfortunately I didn't, and it's raining. So this will be fun. Well, I got the speed sensor out. There's my little bundle of tools I had to use. I'm gonna Google and see what the resistance should be in this, and take my multimeter and test it and make sure the sensor just ain't bad, because it don't really look too dirty. But I am gonna clean it back up, put it back in there, because regardless, I gotta get it limped to a parts store so I can get a new sensor if I have to. Hopefully it's something minor. Hopefully it's not electrical, or I'll be fixing this when I get to the job site. I'm only halfway there. Haven't even made it, so hopefully I can get this patched good enough to where I can get down the road, because it doesn't want to shift. It kicks out into like a neutral, and then it slams into gear, and it does all kinds of crazy stuff. So I really don't want to mess up the transmission. I just rebuilt the transmission a couple thousand miles ago, so I really don't want to destroy what I've already done. Well, I got it cleaned up. Unfortunately, I did not put a multimeter on the truck. I thought I had one, but I don't. I'm gonna look in one more spot. I do have my electrical bag, and I usually keep my old multimeter in there, but I didn't see the kit with the new one in it. So it's raining pretty hard right now. So I'm gonna sit in here for a second and warm up a bit. I'm froze and soaked from laying in the gravel and stuff. So hopefully I can get this fixed pretty quick so I can get back on the road. I'd like to be able to make it home too. Well, I'm just absolutely covered, getting all the tools picked up, got it all back together. Hopefully that takes care of my issue for now. I really don't care if it needs a speed sensor. I'll put one in it, but I'm kind of broke down on the side of the road, and I hope I can get it limped back home at least. Get me to the job and finished up and back home, and we'll get it from there. We'll turn the key on, we'll clear the codes out. And I know it's got the IAT intake high or whatever. That sensor's not even hooked up right now. I don't really care about it. Let's see, we'll go back to memory codes. La-di-da. Okay. Hopefully our problem's fixed. Oh, how nice it is being a warm vehicle. God, it's cold. Cold, wet, and rainy. Luckily, I found somewhere to pull off. I was on this main highway out here. There's tons of traffic. I really didn't want to stop right there to fix this issue. And we're still wanting to shift late, so. Okay, well, hopefully I can make this happen. This does some crazy, crazy stuff when this thing's doing its stuff. It may be a broke wire too, because I noticed it's had this issue a little bit here and there, and it's generally whenever when you hit a bump. And we got tons of traffic coming. Awesome. I really don't want to pull out and try getting on it, because That's when bad things happen because it doesn't want to shift. But we should have enough room after this part here to see what happens. Oh, we're shifting. Oh, we're doing big things. It's working now. Yes! Good deal. Alright, hopefully I can get to the job site and we'll get some videos of work on this Mustang skid loader and go from there. A little update, the transmission's shifting just fine now. We're trying to find this skid loader we got to work on. It's somewhere here in the trailer park. We're doing some work on a bunch of stuff around here. Should be right around here somewhere. Right here by this next stop sign is where it should be, towards the right. Oh, I see it. Perfect. And there's even like a little concrete pad right there by it, so I can park right there by it, have all my stuff. Good deal. This thing is a nightmare to work on. It's got a 4-cylinder Cummins in it, and it's really, really, really tight, especially where the starter is. So, time to see what all we're gonna get into here. And of course the rain picked back up. I might put a dry sweatshirt on. Luckily I have an extra one in here with me, but I may save it for the ride home. Well, I'm gonna get out and investigate and see what's going on. We'll go from there. To start with, I'm gonna take these front 2 bolts here out, and we're gonna lift the cab up so we can get a little bit better access to it. So I'm gonna pull those out real quick, and then I'll get some video when we get the cab up. Well, I got the bolts out, so now it's time to raise the cab. Goodness gracious. It's cold out here. Raise the cab on this Mustang. It's actually pretty nice compared to most skid loaders. Most of them, or my ASV's a real pain, but this one ain't too bad. It's got a little pump jack here. Make sure you got it tight, and then you just pump it and it picks the cab up. But when I get the cab up, I'll get a video of what it looks like inside. It's down since we're gonna be working under it, and it's a little loose right here, so I'm gonna actually lower it down onto the safety. Don't want any mishaps here. Mishaps are bad. All right, and I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure on the jack so it's not all riding on it, but definitely a lot tighter. So let's see what we got ourselves into. Oh, crawl up in here, and somewhere down in here is a starter. There's our starter, and it looks to have broke the ear off of the starter, which is what he said it did. So I'm gonna get the starter pulled out. I'll get it up on the truck. I do have an old starter out of this machine. This thing has 8 starters. We've put 3 on it, I think. It keeps burning the armatures up out of it, and we don't know why. Before I started working on it, he had put like 6 starters on it, so this machine's had a past of eating starters. So we'll get this off and figure out what's going on. So we got both starters out. This is the one that messed up. It looks like the Bendix got lodged in it and shoved the starter back and broke the ear off the bottom side. It kicked it. So hopefully when it did that, it also broke the solenoid wire here, but the guts of the solenoid is what I need, because this one is froze up. This is the old one. That's what was wrong with it. It got water in there and it froze and rusted up. So if I can get this apart and use the pieces out of this and get it working again, we'll put this one back on. So that's what we're hoping for, because it takes like 2 weeks to get a starter and they need this thing yesterday. So hopefully we can get this thing going for them. The stuff switched around. Now it's time to test it and see if it fixed the issue with this one. Looks like this one's working now, so rebuilt the solenoid from pieces of the new one into the old one, and yada yada yada. Now we got a good starter to put back on this machine, so we'll get it back on, get it all together, fire it up, see how it does. All right, so I got the starter nestled in there, so I got to hold it up in there and get the bolt started. But you always want to make sure you get blue Loctite on equipment and semis and stuff, because they rattle so much that the bolts will try coming loose. These got lock washers on them, and we got blue Loctite on them. And I'm putting brand new bolts in it too, so I don't have to worry about them breaking or anything like that. So we'll get it all back together, try it. All right, I got the starter all back in it. It's all hooked up, so now it's time to test it and see what happens. So first off, I got to turn the master on. And, okay, I got the arms down. I need the key. Crap. Where's the key? Where is the key? Well, if I can find the key, we're ready to test it. If not, then, well. Okay, well, I don't know where the key is, so I'll call and see if I can find the key, and then we can test this thing and see what happens. I'm just gonna let the cab down so it's easier to mess with. To release the safety on it, you gotta flip that little foot up so it'll hold it up, so you can let it down. Hopefully I can do something with it now. No keys, no keys, no keys. Well, if I have to, I'll take the panel off and just hot wire it, but we'll see if I can get it to crank without it. Try to do this with it not upside down. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I like that sound. Very good. I like it. Try it again, see what happens. Good, it's fixed. Perfect. Well, I'm gonna pick up my tools, clean everything up, and head out. Well, a little summary. Got all the tools cleaned up, got everything done. We're headed back to the shop. I'm froze. It is absolutely cold out. I should have brought a coat. Was not very smart. Just have a sweatshirt. I'm soaked. I'm freezing. Luckily, the truck's pretty warm right now. I fired it up while I was cleaning all the tools up and let the heat run. It's not as bad, but it's definitely cold out. I can't wait to get back and get some. I'm gonna change clothes when I get back and get some dry clothes on, because I'm fucking soaked and froze. And we'll get on with the rest of the day. Stopped here at the old Wendy's and got me some lunch. I hadn't ate anything all day, and it's now 2:30, somewhere in there. Been at the go on it all day. I haven't had breakfast or nothing, so I got me a sandwich. And now we're headed back to the shop. So we're halfway back to the shop from where we were on the service call. Then I'll address what we have left to do there. And I'll probably get this video out, and I'll start working on some content for a few more videos. I am gonna also have a video coming up of the turbocharged lawnmower. If you guys seen a little bit of the live stream that we done the other night, I do have more content for that. The lawnmower isn't quite done, but it is pretty neat. I've got it to move under its own power. I rode it around the yard a little bit. It's got some transmission issues and stuff like that, but it's going to be a really cool project. It may end up being fuel injected when it's all said and done, but well, I'm going to drive on back to the shop and talk to you guys in a bit.